Today I'm going to be testing out the most viewed TikTok Oreo dessert recipes to see if they're actually worth making. This first recipe looks like it's the easiest recipe. We're making an Oreo mug cake, and this video has over 33.6 million views. They start by adding 4 Oreos into a little cup, then a 1/4 cup of milk, and then they just smash it together with a fork. Is it wrong that I kind of want to drink this? Okay, there's no lumps left. Now I'm adding a tablespoon of sugar. They also add a tablespoon of flour, 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder, and a full teaspoon of cocoa powder. And then they just stir this all together. Then they grab a whole Oreo and just push it into the middle so the batter covers the top. Now they just microwave it for 1 minute. They don't say what wattage, so I'm gonna go like medium, 500 watts, and hopefully it looks good. That took exactly 1 minute and it looks perfectly cooked. So let's do a taste test. I'm gonna dig into the middle. I wanna see what's happened to that Oreo. It's kind of like melted in there. Oh, yum. Okay, this actually looks really nice and cakey. That's really nice. I really like that. It was super quick and easy. You didn't need many ingredients and it turned out perfectly soft and fluffy. So for ease, I'm gonna give it a 10 out of 10. It was so easy. And for taste, I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. So we're starting strong. Let's go on to the next one. This next recipe is for a no-bake Oreo roll and it has over 15 million views. Now, I think this recipe looks really good. It kind of reminds me of the Oreo sushi trend that went around a while ago, so I'm excited to try it. So she starts by crushing up her Oreos. She actually uses a bowl to do this, but I'm being lazy and I'm using a food processor. I'm gonna blitz to a fine crumb. Okay, that looks good. Let's pour these into our bowl. Then she removes a couple of tablespoons for the cream for later. And she adds in 70 milliliters of milk. And she mixes this together until it forms a dough. Okay, it has come together. I would say it looks a little bit wet, but let's see if we can mold it into a ball. Okay, I think we can work with this. Look at my fingernails. Now she rolls it out, so I need 2 pieces of baking paper. I'm not quite sure how big they need to be, so I'm gonna guess this much. Let's pop our dough in the middle, and then another piece on top. Give that a little smush. She grabs a rolling pin and then just rolls it out really nice and thin. I have a delivery. So now we peel this off. Lovely. I have a horrible feeling I might have rolled some of this too thin, but we're just gonna roll with it and hope for the best. Now she makes the Oreo cream filling, so we're adding double cream to a large bowl, icing sugar, and vanilla extract, and she whips this to soft peaks. Perfect. Now she adds in the Oreos and just folds these all in. Now bringing back in our sheet of Oreo, and I'm gonna dump the whipped cream on top. My cream is over whipped. It's fine, it has structure. And then she just spreads this out to the edge of the Oreo bit. Okay, that looks pretty good. Now we roll. So she kind of uses the baking paper. Oh my gosh, mine is so thin. And then roll it up nice and neatly. Guys, we're doing it. It's working. Are we there? Oh, we're there. Oh, it's not very neat. Okay. We have a hole. I'm gonna try and patch up the hole. So she actually keeps it in the baking paper, like a little sausage roll, and then she freezes it for an hour. So I'm gonna put this in the freezer and then we will come back to it to finish it. Okay, we will be back. This next recipe is for a DIY KFC Crusher and it has over 10.4 million views. I'm pretty sure we call it Crushums in the UK, but this is Australian. So if you're watching and you're Australian, do you call them Crushers? But this looks really good, so let's begin. He starts by adding 5 scoops of vanilla ice cream to a blender. Soft scoop ice cream reminds me of my childhood. Then he adds in 6 Oreos, a 1/4 cup of milk, no, a 1/2 cup of milk, vanilla extract, and 1 cup of ice. My ice is actually a little bit watery, so hopefully it's not too bad. Oh no, it's really watery. What do I do? Here we go. I'll just put in the bits that are frozen rather than pouring water into it. That's not what we want. That's probably enough ice. And then he just blends it up. Let's take a look. Okay, perfect. Let's pour it into our glass. Oh yeah, I like that texture. Perfect size as well. Taste test. Oh, it's so nice and cold and refreshing and creamy and really Oreo-y as well. I like this. For ease, again, it was super easy. Just as easy as the mug cake, but you did need a blender. So I'm gonna give the ease 9.5. Taste, I'm also gonna give it a 9.5. I really like this. This next video is by my friend Patrick, and he is making Oreo cream cups, and this video has over 23 million views. Now, Patrick makes quite a few of these cream cups, but I've reduced it down to just make 1. So in go our 2.5 Oreos. I'm gonna crush these up. So pouring the crushed Oreos into a bowl, and now adding in melted butter and just mixing these together. Now he pours this into the base of his cups. I don't have cups, so I'm using this little glass here. And we'll just push that down. Now he adds double cream to a bowl, or heavy cream, as Patrick will call it, and whisk this to stiff peaks. There we go. And then some more crushed Oreos. And just stir these in. And then let's scoop this onto our base and just smooth that out. And now I'm gonna melt milk chocolate in the microwave for our topping. Our chocolate is now melted, so I'm just gonna pour it on top. And then finally, a whole Oreo on top to finish. Let's give it a taste test. That is so good. All the flavors and textures work really well together. For ease, I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. It was really easy. It just didn't feel quite as easy as the other ones. Maybe because there was like 3 different parts to it. For taste, I'm gonna give it a 10 out of 10. And I'm not just saying that because Patrick is my friend. This is really delicious. So let's move on to the next one. This next recipe is for Oreo ice cream sandwiches, and it has over 14.9 million views. Once again, we're gonna start by crushing up our Oreos in a food processor. So she pours these into a bowl and adds in melted butter and mixes these together. I just realized I was supposed to remove 50 grams of Oreos before adding the butter. We need this for our cream, for our ice cream section. So I'm just gonna crush some extra in a bag so we can use them for our cream. For the filling, she adds double cream to a large bowl and vanilla extract, and she whisks this to soft peaks. Then she pours in her condensed milk, and she just whisks this in. And then she folds in the Oreos. Now she scoops half of her Oreo mixture into a tin. I'm gonna guess what half is. Maybe about that much. And then just presses that down firmly to make our base. Then adds the Oreo ice cream filling and just spreads that out. There we go, and then she just spoons the rest of the Oreo mixture on the top. Oh, I feel like I might have too much. There we go, and then she pops this in the freezer for at least 5 hours or until the ice cream is set. Our ice cream sandwiches are now set, so let's cut them up. Ooh, this looks good. I think I'm gonna cut them into 6. So a third here. There we go. These actually look really good. Let's see if I can bite through it. I'm making a mess. Okay, I like them, but I don't love them. They were very easy though. There's just something about it that it just isn't hitting the spot, but it is nice and creamy and very Oreo-y. So I do still really like them. I'm gonna give the ease an 8.5 out of 10, and I'm gonna give the taste a 7 out of 10. Okay, let's unravel our roll. I really hope this has worked. Let's flip that way. Okay, it looks like a log. I'm gonna cut the end off to where I think it will look good. So maybe about here? What are we saying? Not bad, it looks quite good. Hey, look at it. To decorate it, she pipes over some milk chocolate and then puts some swirls of cream on top with some mini Oreos. I could not find mini Oreos anywhere, and I forgot to save us any whipped cream. So I'm just gonna pipe on the milk chocolate because this is the only thing that will really affect the taste. The other bits are just decoration. Right, let's snip that there. Oh my gosh, yum. I'm quite happy with that, you know? I think it looks quite good. Ours is a little bit squished, but it's about the taste. So let's cut ourselves a proper slice and we'll do a taste test. I like how it's straight from the freezer. So the cream is a little bit firm, but it's also really nice and cold. I also like the addition of the milk chocolate on top, so it gives it just that extra chocolatiness, just complements the flavors nicely. I also like the texture of like the Oreo sushi part, the dough. So for ease, I'm gonna give this a 7 out of 10. It was easy to make, it was just a little bit fiddly, and it's the sort of thing that could go wrong. So maybe I would even drop it to a 6. Maybe on your second attempt, or my second attempt I should say, we'd get it perfect. For taste, I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. It is really good, it's just not my favorite one out of the recipes that we've made today. So guys, that is the end of today's video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments below what other recipes you'd like me to make, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.